What's up, y'all? My name is Andrew Potter.
And I'm Aaliyah Bynum, and this week for Restoring the Breach Incorporated's Career Development Series, we're going to be talking about post-grad life.
So stay tuned for tips to help you be best prepared to find the best career for you post-graduation.
Okay, first off, we're going to speak about resume building.
I'll take this one because they called me the resume master back in undergrad. Look it up. So first of all, if we're looking at a resume, experience helps, but it's not mandatory, right? So if you have a job right now in college, some people work, some don't. Internship, some people get the opportunity. They're limited interns with every organization. Some people just don't. There's nothing you can do about that. But one thing that you can do is help tweak your resume with things you can do. For example, there are a lot of certifications that you can get online. So you can go get certified to do a lot of different things. For example, I was a business management major, and I ended up getting a certification online that dealt with insurance. So once I graduated, although I had no insurance, background on my resume, I did have a certification that said I had taken courses to help me get a justice license back then, right? So that's number one on resume. Don't be afraid to adjust your resume when applying. Okay, so that does not mean lie. Don't make up things. Don't apply for outrageous positions that you have no experience for. Even though the worst answer you can get is no. When I say adjust, I mean kind of matching the things you did at your job with the requirements of the job you're going for. For example, as a graduate student, actually, I worked with the Office of the Dean of Students at Georgia State University. One thing we had to do there was pretty much use the handbook or DSU, use all the stipulations we had, talk to our coworkers, and find the best solution for each student based on the problem they gave us. Right now, I work in insurance as an underwriter. Underwriting, I had no insurance experience, whatever. So when I looked at the job description for being an underwriter, it was pretty much using the underwriting manual to find, pretty much whether or not we'll accept the risk. So when I looked at that and I looked at my Dean of Students resume, or I should say experience, it was adjusting that to say using documentation, which is what they're asking me to do, to find the best student answer, which is the same thing that the job is asking me to do. So all of a sudden my resume matches, the job description that you're going to find online anytime you apply for a job. Now I know this was kind of a quick intro on the resume, but for a more in-depth look, more tips and tricks, Restoring the Breach Incorporated on September 19th at 2 p.m. is having a resume building workshop. You can find out more information about that on Instagram. So that's Instagram at Restoring the Breach Incorporated, Facebook or Twitter at Restoring the Breach Incorporated.
Alrighty, so next we'll be talking about when to start looking for jobs. So I started looking for jobs pretty much maybe a year or so before I graduated. It's never too early, I don't think, because you can look for internships that can lead you to a job, and but there is a such thing as too late. I think so. So
if you've crossed the stage and you've not applied to a single one, I won't say you're too late, but you should really get to work at that moment.
It'll be best. When you do apply for those jobs, try to look for things like entry-level positions, because you're just not coming out of college. You want to make it easier for yourself to be able to, best adjust to the job and to the field that you are going to be in.
If you see a position that you think you're not too well fit for, but you have certain qualifications, go ahead and apply. One thing I've learned in my experience is that the worst answer you can get is no. Nothing bad happens if you apply to a job that you're not exactly qualified for. Kind of pace yourself, but as far as your field, if there's something you feel like you can do, you don't meet every single requirement, but you do have the educational background and maybe not the years experience, because there are jobs that require an undergraduate degree with 5 years experience. How? You know what I mean? So, but go ahead and apply. You may get an interview and you never know what can happen in the interview.
And also, like Andrew spoke about earlier, make yourself marketable. Try to get those certifications. There are so many different resources out there that you can use to get that knowledge that you need and the experience that you need for the job that you want, or for the job that you think you deserve or need.
Being honest with you, getting a job is a job within itself. So anything worth getting is worth working for, right? So like we've talked about with resumes, make sure to make yourself marketable, like you said, with looking at different certifications. What would I need to apply to these type of jobs? Why am I interested in this field? What region is hiring these type of things? For instance, I live in Alpharetta, Georgia. It's a very big insurance area for whatever reason, right? So just knowing what you're looking for and making yourself marketable for that.
My job applying for jobs experience. So it started out, I got an internship with an insurance company the summer before my senior year. And that, jump-started a lot of stuff. They offered me a job and everything. but it turned out to be something that I did not want, or a company that I did not want to work for because of a couple of different things. I continued to look for jobs. I did not stop. Every time I talked to him, oh, what are you doing? Applying jobs. I did it in my free time. I did not settle. I was not settling. Right. So I guess I ended up turning that job down. So I was jobless when I graduated. I continued to search around, use different websites, LinkedIn. What's that other one? Indeed, and just any ads that I saw, anything. And one thing that helped me the most was applying for different recruiting jobs. Well, jobs that recruiters put out. That helped me the most because the first job that I got was this little. I'm gonna say little rinky dink. Well, yeah, it was a temp job through a recruiting agency. So they helped me get that job, and I still continued to look, and I still searched high and low for another job. I was not staying there, even though they wanted me to.
They didn't clean the bathrooms, y'all. She was out.
I was out. Like, it was nasty in there. It was nasty. It was only like 5 of us. I did not want to do it. No. So I continued to look, and lo and behold, the company that I am with now, they had a position. I applied for it through a temp agency called Avenica. Avenica really helped me. They have a lot of different jobs, targeting business majors in the Alpharetta area. So I connected with them, interviewed with them, and they began to send me out for interviews. So I interviewed for like 2 or 3 positions through Avenica, I think. And the first one I didn't get, unfortunately, but the second one I did, and it was great. I was a temp for what, 6 months? 6 months. I had to complete a quota or whatever, and then I became a full-time employee of it. Well, I love the people. Recruiting agencies. That's a good one. That's a really good one.
So my experience was a little different. I didn't take the internship route prior to graduation, but I had a long, and I mean long resume. I worked a lot of jobs in college and grad school. Upon leaving, I was a business management major. And if you're a management major, you know that the job that you're aimed towards, I guess a lot, is management trainee. After doing some soul searching, it just isn't what I wanted to do. So I did start applying to jobs, and like you said, doing certifications, applying to jobs that I wasn't really a super fit for, but that I kind of fit. First job I actually got was a universal banker at a bank. The only problem was the bank was in a location that I just couldn't stay in anymore. I just keep it like that. It was not in a great location. So I did have to turn that position down. And then I guess when I moved to Atlanta, I ended up working with a recruiting agency first, and I ended up getting a temp job. The temp position was fine, but like I said, I'm all about just reaching for what I'm looking for. So, and that's my thing. There's nothing wrong with working, as she says, a temp job in the meantime.
Yes.
You need money. There's no shame in looking for a temp job.
Get that money.
Right, and they know you're a temp worker, so it's not as if you're signing some year contract. No, the day that something else comes along, you can have a talk with them, and they're completely understanding about it.
Yeah, that's what they do.
That's literally what they do. So the temp job wasn't for me, and I end up getting a job through another recruiting agency with an insurance company. It was more on the claim side of things. Won't go into too much detail about that, but it was just I wasn't crazy about it, but it just wasn't what I wanted to do. So one of the main points I wanted to talk about was networking. So I worked at Georgia Southern University. I worked at the Russell Union as an undergrad. I was an operations assistant, then an FM, AV, DA, RA. The boy did it all, GA. But my first year there, I worked all of my shifts with a coworker. Kept in contact through social media. Didn't talk every day, but talk every now and then. May see him on the timeline. You know how that goes. I'm looking at jobs on LinkedIn, and I see that he works there. This is why networking is important. So I reached out to him and asked him, well, what is your position? What does the company do? What is this position like? What is this branch like? What is this division like? He pretty much sold me on the company culture. He told me what I would be doing. He told me about my coworkers before I'd ever met them. And most importantly, when I did submit my resume, he was able to make sure there were eyes on it. right? Now, granted, he can't give me the job, but that's all you can ask for, a shot, right? I was able to get an interview. I did get the position, accept the position, and I've been working in underwriting for the last, I think, 6 to 8 months. Networking is very key when looking for a position. If you have friends, if you have any, some that were same organization as you, fraternities, sororities, sisters, brothers, old co-workers, nothing is wrong with networking, right? There's nothing wrong with reaching out saying, hey, do you work here? Are you all open to new employees, what positions, do I fit, and so on and so forth.
In conclusion, what I have to say is, keep going, keep pushing, do not settle. If you get one job but you want another, why not? You're young, more than likely. There's some people that aren't. But 9 times out of 10, you're young. You have time to find your career, find your dream job that you believe is in your purpose. Right. Keep going, keep pushing, don't settle. You got it.
And lastly, prepare.
Yes.
And when you prepare, do not lose faith.
Yes.
Like, you're going to have friends who walked out in May and started working the day after graduation, right. And they have the apartment, and everyone's path is different. Mm-hmm. Everyone's path is different. You may not find a job the day after, the month after, 2 months after. Just keep striving and keep working.
Keep working. Right? Keep working at bettering yourself too.
Bettering your resume.
Yeah, don't just sit around, woe was me. No, keep working. You got it. It's coming. It's you. You have it. Keep speaking into existence, and you will, and it will come to you.
And like we said, the resume building workshop for Restoring the Breach Incorporated, that's September 19th at 2 p.m. It's going to be hosted at the Outreach Center, which is the location for Restoring the Breach. You can find more information on that by visiting the Restoring the Breach Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter page. And that's all I have. So my name is Andrew Potter.
That's all we have. We. As in we.
My name is Andrew Potter.
And I'm Aaliyah Bynum.
Bye.